Well, hey, YouTube, it's Speedy Two Finger, and I just finished watching the Pedal movie. Pedal movie is made by Reverb.com. Features a long list of people from the pedal and rock and roll community. And they go through the story before effects even exist, and they tell the whole story of the guitar pedal, all the way up to the digital days and the boutique renaissance, which leads us up to the modern era. The film runs 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 32 seconds, and it feels like it. Sometimes I can watch a 2 hour plus movie and be like, that didn't feel like it was long at all. I checked the time on this, and there was like 50 minutes left, and I was like, it already felt like it was too long. So if you're planning on watching this with your significant other, I would say break it up and do a double date. Watch this one in 2 days. Trust me. The way that they tell the beginning of it is, especially if you don't know the story. For me, I've read about this stuff a lot, read about this history, and I know a lot of it. So it just became fun to say, oh, here they're talking about McCary's. Here is going to be Roger Mayer. Oh, this is going to be the MXR guys, you know. But I did learn a lot. They go on this little bit of this tangent about using pedals to make music, where they have real expensive like Strymons or pedals with complicated algorithms. You know, you see someone with a board with like 20 of these $400, $600 pedals on it, and it's just I admit I'm jealous. I would love to have something like that. But I think at the same time I would want a more normal board just for making music, and that's what I would ultimately end up doing. It's just make music using pedals properly, you know? So I'm also, they're showing an old rusty small stone or an old big muff, and I'm not getting worked up over that because I had that stuff, and I remember how much tone it sucked and how noisy they were. So it was a little different experience for me, but they've got all the classics in there, from Mike Matthews telling his stories about Jimmy Jam and how he saved us all from our sins. And there is a segment, the end of it is basically Josh Scott. He's in it a lot. The JHS guy, he's there like the kind of like the main guy. And I got to tell you, it looked like this was filmed a long time ago. Looked like this footage was old. Anytime there's a real lot of people listed in the credits, it seems like that takes a while for it to get released. Something with lawyers, maybe? I don't know. JHS was saying how, yeah, this community, these people are really great, and they don't treat each other as competition. They share information. They're all really friendly and giving each other schematics and tips on where to purchase these hard-to-find transistors. Oh my goodness, I just couldn't believe it. JHS's Utopia. So they did rewind 10 minutes, and they went on this woke tangent. And it started out, I was like, I can't believe they're covering this, my favorite topic. They were showing a bunch of real nasty negative comments in the forums, and it was gear related. And Dweezil Zappa's comment was that there's a guy locked in his mother's basement who's been surviving on dog food for years, who's ranting and raving about how the Tube Screamer is the best pedal ever created. And where they ended up taking that was they were showing some lovely young women in the pedal building community, and they were saying that they felt strongly that it was still a boys' club, and there was this locker room stuff going on, and that they weren't treated with the respect. Now, I personally, my feeling on this is, great. If you got chicks who are into pedals, that's awesome. Bring them in, because ultimately that might lead to some different thinking and some inspiration and some new designs. I'm certainly the women's place not in the kitchen. If she wants to build pedals, I'll go cook. Trust me on that. Now, I gotta mention this. I won't bring up his name. I was at a guy's channel. He's a very popular tube amp repairman with a huge following. And this was 2 times in the past couple of weeks. And he was showing a live video, and they have this comment, live commenting, and it's going by quick. And someone brought up a pornographic, it's this like disgusting movie. I never watched it, and I never looked it up, and I don't know what it is. But this was real popular around between like 2004, 2002 in there. It was like this pornographic thing that everyone was talking about, and ooh, you had to watch it, and it was so disgusting. And well, they did not. Someone brought that up, and then it just the entire comment section devolved, and I ended up leaving. Like I said, I don't want to know what that is. I don't want to have anything to do with it, and I left. And the next time he was available, he was doing his live thing. I went over there again, and they began joking about marital aids. It was dildo something, and they all, including the guy, like if this is my thing, I'm going to be like, hey guys, let's, but let's, come on, let's don't work blue. It's a family show. But no, he's in there right with them, and it's just dildo this, dildo that, and tubes. So it was like vacuum tubes can be used as a marital aid, is what the first joke was. And then one of this guy, his comment was, "Tone dildos are a real thing, This is what he said. This is the guy. And I quickly fired off, yeah, they're all in here commenting on this shit right now when I hit the thing, and then I asked. So, when they went on that woke little detour, it's like 2 minutes of the movie, and it didn't feel really too much out of place. And then later on, when I thought about making this video, I was like, you know what? Those girls were right. Like, I just witnessed this. So, the movie is really good. It's really entertaining. It's a huge story to tell, and they have a massive amount of people credited. I don't want this video to be too long. PrimeWire is where I saw it, so I can take you guys over there. Hey, check your email. Maybe I sent you a link. I sent one link out. This is PrimeWire. I have it bookmarked. PrimeWire.li. And then here it is, the pedal movie. You'll have to type that in the search and deal with a bunch of pop-ups. X those out as quick as you can. And you'll see this image, click on this image, and that'll take you to this page where you can click here and watch it on streams with 2z's.to. Or you could just, if you pay for Netflix or any of those other fine streaming services. But yeah, it's on IMDb here. It got a 7.3. If you're a fan of this type of thing, you're going to love it. Hey, there's Fran Blanche, as we know her as now. I know you guys will love it. And just consider to be nice. That there's enough negativity in the world already out there. Maybe consider what I'm on about to be my own personal experience, that I friended one of the guys that was in this movie, and he calls himself Analog, and I wrote, okay, I made a lot of progress on my amp project. I built a JFET preamp that's a clone of a Laney supergroup. Blah, 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 blah. And then he came in and said, what? The old Laney power amp heads? are made with JFETs instead of vacuum tubes. And there's 30 fucking people on my Facebook. None of them are wireheads. So I'm like, I can't believe this fucking guy. Like, everybody knows when Sabbath first came to the United States, Iommi couldn't get his tone because over there it's 220 and here it's 110. Our voltages are different. And his vacuum tubes couldn't handle it at 110, and he had a horrible first tour. It's like a famous rock and roll story. And, he used Laney heads. So it's like, yeah, they're fucking vacuum tubes, you asshole. Like, what the fuck is this? This is my Facebook wall, and I'm putting this up here because it's my diary. My Facebook is my diary. Nobody fucking cares or talks to me on that thing. And so I wrote, I find absolutely zero irony in the fact I'm being called out on my own Facebook wall by a guy who calls himself Analog. And then he backpedals and he was like, oh no, I was really just asking a sincere question. And I said, is that why you put 3 exclamation points and and 3 question marks? Come on, pal. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So I kind of fall in a weird place with this. I make a video called Multi-Effectors That I Love, and I got a comment, well, personally, I can't stand those things. So basically what I'm on about is something your mom taught you. You remember that one? How that goes? All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Enjoy the movie. If you watch it, let me know what you thought. Come back here and leave a comment. I like it when you guys comment. I like it when it's positive, when you're not kind of taking veiled pot shots at me because I use modeling gear. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the film. And peace. Be nice.